All right, folks. Welcome back to Kings of Opinion. This is episode 125. We got the Wanderer here in the show. No Big Earn today. Wanderer, say hello.
Thanks for stopping by.
So, right away, I guess before we get to the big football week, congratulations to your Dallas Cowboys, by the way. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Some baseball news.
Oh yeah, I saw that. What you wanted to happen have transpired.
Yeah, so, Trent Grisham had this 1-year offer. He accepted it for $22.5 million, I think it is. And listen, is it a little bit more money than I would have liked to spend on him? Yes, but if he has the same kind of year, you kind of get him on the cheap a little bit. You know what I mean? 34 home runs is 34 home runs. He didn't have a ton of RBIs, and the knock on him is he didn't hit lefties in the playoffs or pretty much the whole year. So that could still be a problem. But if you're setting it up for it to be like maybe he's a fourth outfielder or a guy that comes in, for defense, or even someone gets injured, I think he's a good, solid center fielder to have come off the bench or play, a certain amount of games. So I don't mind it. I know a lot of people are upset about it because they're thinking that Brian Cashman's taking the easy way out, or the cheaper way out, I should say, not even easy, cheaper. And maybe they're thinking they're not going to sign Cody Bellinger or even Kyle Tucker. I don't see that to be the case here. I just think of it as an insurance policy. And if they get stuck with the same outfield that they have last year with Bellinger, Grisham, and Judge, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world.
Right.
I'd like to give Cashman a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here, only because he's got a lot more moves to make, and if we're all complaining about this one, I can only imagine what's going to happen down the road. We don't really have a good hitting catcher right now. Jazz is a strikeout machine at second. Volpe's a strikeout machine at short. Ryan McMahon can't hit a beach ball half the time. You know what I mean? Great defensively, but can't hit the beach ball. Now, I'm be fine with McMahon if you upgrade in other areas. So that's what I want to see him do in the upcoming weeks. And, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, which means the winter meetings are, the next corner after that. So hopefully we will see, some decent moves. I don't care who he gets, whether it be Cody Bellinger or Kyle Tucker. I know Kyle Tucker's a little younger. It's also going to require him more money. So Cody's really the more perfect fit, only because you saw him play last year in New York, and he had a really good year. Everyone forgets that he started off really slow in April and came around and still had 98 RBIs. You know what I mean? Which is not much further behind Juan Soto. I think Juan Soto had like 103 or 105. So, Cashman's plan B, at least offensively, worked out because Cody pretty much matched Soto's totals. Maybe not the home runs, but, you add him and Goldschmidt and you got the same, if not a slightly more production out of the two guys that they got. Now, granted, it didn't take them far in the playoffs. I'm over that right now. I'm looking forward, not backwards, right? Isn't that what they're saying? Right? So, to me, I'm fine with this. I just want to see where he goes next with it. You know what I mean? They also signed Ryan Yarbrough to a 1-year contract, which he did pretty well for us last year when he wasn't hurt. So I like that as well. A nice little long man / bullpen piece for him, which we always talk about during the summer. You can never have much bullpen help back there because those guys 1 year are good, next year are bad. So, stock up on arms now while everyone's sitting around and waiting for, whether it be the winter meetings or just waiting out like the agents and the players. You know what I mean? Right now, as far as your Mets go, did you hear any of the Mets stuff?
No. Did they sign anybody?
No, nothing concrete yet, but the rumor mill is starting to spin around the Mets a lot. Edwin Diaz, I think we talked about Edwin and Pete. They both opted out. It looks like, as of right now, Boston's the heavy favorite to land Alonso. No one's really came out with Diaz yet, so we're still waiting on that. But I wonder with Pete if he takes a deal from like the Red Sox or any other team if he's strictly going to be a DH. That's really like the rumor mill around him, right? So I guess at some point, Pete's got to look in the mirror and say, what do I want to do? Do I want to go back to the Mets? Because I'm sure the Mets wanted to pay him. I just don't think they like him for a first baseman.
Right. They'll probably want him to DH a bit.
Yeah, and maybe like split time at first base, depending on situations. They don't want him to be their everyday first baseman, which I understand. Yeah, I understand it. And listen, over the summer we talked, I think, enough about his defense. And I'm on the other side of the fence on this, where a lot of people think he's atrocious defensively. I don't think he's atrocious defensively. I just think he's got a throwing issue, which is probably his biggest flaw. And if I were the Mets, or any team for that matter, whoever signs him, just have him work out all winter long, practice throwing the baseball around the baseball field, and put him in situations. I remember when I was in high school, my coach used to like berate us with situational things while we're doing like infield outfield practice.
Okay.
And I don't know if they do that in the majors. I wouldn't know if they do that in the minors either. But for someone that has an issue like that, maybe you do that with him and just situationally, guy on third, what are you doing? And you hit a ground ball to his right, to his left, right at him, a dribbler, and see how he comes up throwing. And if you have to, have a guy run down the third baseline, put pressure on him. I know it's not going to be the same as like in game when everything's on the line, or could everything be on the line, but it'll teach you the basic fundamentals to be a better thrower. I mean, he's gotten this far, and I don't remember any other year of him being a bad thrower. Like, a couple of years ago, he was a bad fielder. Then he couldn't scoop balls, and now he can scoop balls. So, like,
Can't hurt.
Yeah, like, it doesn't seem like he's going to be like, no, I'm not doing that kind of thing. I'm sure he wants to get better at that and be a first baseman as opposed to a DH. So, these guys, whoever, like I said, whoever signs them, maybe you bring in a really good first baseman. Every team has one that has had like, an older generation of first baseman that you could, teach this guy. And even if you didn't, that's what you have coaches for. These guys are supposed to be, well-rounded coaches. Teach this guy how to, throw the baseball to home plate without throwing it, 6-7 feet wide or, over the catcher's head. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other than that, there's really no baseball news that I caught. If you want to consider this news, Spencer Jones made the 40-man roster, so it looks like he's going to compete for the outfield for the Yankees.
There was some other news.
Sure.
What
I missed?
What I meant earlier about a little after the season award.
Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you for reminding me. It's been so long. I felt like it was like
It was a while ago.
Yeah, it was like last week.
It was probably right after we did last week. So.
Yeah, it was literally the next day. It was at I think it was at like 8:00. They announced the AL/NL MVP awards, and I can't believe I forgot it. But I guess it's just like, the time. But yeah, Aaron Judge won the MVP, which I'm really happy about. To be fair, like I feel like this one, not more than most, he actually deserved this one. This is kind of like payback from when Altuve beat him out.
Were you surprised at all?
Yeah, because I actually picked Cal Riley.
I thought he would win.
Yeah, and I kind of assumed that, him being a catcher, even though I don't really believe in that as much as everyone else does. Right. Yeah, I get it. Catching's hard. I totally get it. But the 60 home runs was the marker for me. I felt like once he hit 60 home runs, it was his MVP. But I'm pleasantly surprised I was wrong. You know what I mean? Because when you really look at the tail of the tape, Judge literally beats him in every other category. So what do you value more? And that was the conversation I had probably like a month ago with the whole Altuve Judge thing. Like, how did Altuve beat Judge when Judge crushed him on all those like power numbers? Because even the Altuve Judge thing was a lot closer than it should have been. Like, hands down, Judge should have won it. I know he got Rookie of the Year that year, but he had, like 20-something home runs more than him, ton more RBIs, slugging was higher, all those new categories of stats were higher. The only thing Altuve had was batting average, maybe runs, and one or two other things. So for Judge now to have all of that and actually missing on the home runs and RBIs, which he wasn't that far behind. I mean, 7 home runs you could consider a lot, but it wasn't that bad. And the RBIs was 11. So, you got to remember he was hurt for 10 days and then not himself when he first came back while he was DHing, trying to get the Yankees to the playoffs. And I think some of the voters also took that into account. Even if he was struggling that time, he rushed back just to create a presence in that lineup, which got the Yankees to get back onto that winning track. So you also got to account for that too, right? Like, he wasn't in the lineup. The Yankees were doing terrible for those 10 days. They were losing. Then he comes back, and even if he wasn't hitting home runs and all that, they started winning. So just him in that lineup alone makes you that MVP kind of candidate.
Right.
So I'm actually glad he won. It was a nice little thing for him. So, now he's got 3 MVPs. But I actually saw a quote from him. He would trade it all for a World Series championship.
I've heard that before.
Right? Me too. And I'm sure everyone that says that means that.
Right.
I get it. Yeah. And you can't even complain about him this playoff year because he hit 500 and had that big home run and had some other big hits. So I'm not even going to blame him for this year, but let's get this guy a World Series. Like, that's what Brian Cashman should be trying to do. Go out there, get Steven Kwan if you want, even though I'm not that excited about Steven Kwan, even though I should be. But I was looking into his numbers, and his second half numbers dipped a lot last year. Okay. So I don't know if that's something that's going to be, a problem moving forward so much, or was it just a bad half of second year, and he's going to have a Kwan type year next year. I mean, his good characteristics outweigh that for sure. He's fast. He's a leadoff hitter. He's a contact hitter, which is what I've been screaming for years now. So I won't mind it if they go and try and trade for him, but go do it. Give up some of these guys that, we don't know are going to be, top ball players in our system. Go give it to Cleveland. Who cares? 9 times out of 10, you beat Cleveland in the playoffs anyway, so what does it matter? Right. Just go out there and do it. And same thing with the damn Mets. What are the Mets waiting for?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They should definitely be trying to, make some offers.
Look, at the very least, I don't care if you make any offer but to one person. I haven't talked to one person that doesn't want Pete Alonso on the team.
Right.
Go hammer this out. I know he's a Scott Boras guy, but at some point you got to tell Scott, listen, if we don't get a deal done right now, I'm not messing with you. And if no one comes calling, don't come back to me.
Well, I guess, they took their time last time, so I guess it's not surprising, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not surprising, but that's also the problem too.
Oh, yeah.
You screwed yourself last time around because now that he had an even better year than he did last year, wrap this up in a bow. Give him the 3 or 4 year deal. I mean, I think he's only 31 or 32 anyway, or somewhere around there. Give him, there's no other first baseman out there. Josh Naylor just signed over the week, or the past week with the Mariners. I don't know any other first baseman out there. So if you lose Pete Alonso, even though he's not the best defensive first baseman, who are you going to put at first base? Vientos, who was shit last year? Beatty, who wasn't that great either? I mean, he was better than Vientos, but, not great. You're not going to replace 30-something home runs and I think it was 128-ish RBIs. He was the Mets' best hitter.
Definitely.
Show him that. Listen, to me, and I'll wrap this up in a bow, Pete wants to be wanted a little bit now at this point. He tuckered his tail last year, signed the contract with the opt-out, no big deal, came back, great season. Now you almost got to be like the George Steinbrenner. I know everyone talks about Stevie Cohen being, Uncle Cohen and this and that, and he's got all this money. Show it at this point now.
Right.
Come in here with a strong number, a respectable number, and be like, listen, here it is. 3-4 guaranteed years, a team option for a 5th.
Make him feel appreciated.
Yeah. And then maybe Pete goes to Scott, I just want to take this, bro. Like, I don't want to wait till February and then not know where the fuck I'm going and all this other nonsense. Get the ball rolling, guys. Like, let's do it. And then sign Diaz because he actually had a really good year last year, too. And then make other moves. Like, if you want to sign a pitcher and sign this guy, then you could wait a little bit. But they should get these things done before the winter meeting so there's not hawks, or I should say vultures, around carcasses right now. And it's your carcass that your player's carcass that they're worried about, Yeah, that's about it for that right now. I'm excited. Some of the things are starting to drop a little bit for the whole baseball thing. But, now we're going into the football aspect of the show. And I'm going to go, I guess we'll go backwards because I really want to talk about your Dallas Cowboys because I was watching that game. I don't know if you watched the whole game.
I did not.
I didn't really either because it was a blowout like by a halftime. But big fantasy value for me on that day.
There you go.
Yeah, I was losing all my leagues and I'm like, for the first time that I can remember, I'm going to go back-to-back weeks and not win a single game out of the 3 teams that I have. And I had Javonte Williams and George Pickens going. And I was like, I think I was like 40 points away, but it started that game. And they did it. George Pickens had a monster game. I don't know if he had 2 touchdowns or not, but he had I want to say 10 out of 12 catches.
Wow. For
130 or 40 yards. I know I saw the 1 touchdown that he had. I just don't know if he had 2. And I won at least one of my teams by 2 points. So
that's a close one, yeah.
And that was the one league that I was in 9th place, but everyone in front of me had the same record, or I was just slightly behind. Logjam, and I just literally skipped the rungs. And I'm in the playoff hunt, and I'm in 6th place right now because of that win. So that was a huge win for me. The other 2, one team that I'm in with Ernie, I've lost now 5 in a row.
Oof.
But I have no Amari Hampton, no Bucky Irving, a couple other guys were on buys. So I'm just trying to fill in and try and make it happen, and it just didn't work out. I actually got Sean Tucker from the Bucks, and he had a monster game. It just wasn't enough to get me the win.
I see.
And I did that in my other league, which is why I was down to 40 points. Funny story, I'm talking to my chiropractor and a couple of my buddies through text, and I'm like, who do I start, Loveland or Tucker? And my chiropractor's the only one that says I don't like Loveland, but the other 2 guys you can't start Tucker. He's the 2nd string running back, and I'm like, all right, but it's going to be a run-heavy game, and I took him out and put Loveland in, and Loveland didn't have a great game. He only had 7 or 8 points, and Tucker went off. He had 3 touchdowns, 160 all-purpose yards. So I was really sweating it out on Monday night with the Dallas game, and because I didn't have him in my lineup. Otherwise, I would have won easily. But that Dallas game, Quentin Williams had at least a sack. I know he for sure. I saw with my own eyes with a 1 sack, but he was pressuring Geno Smith all night long. The whole defensive front looks kind of different for Dallas. So, everyone in the last couple of days is really high on Dallas now. I don't think it's that time yet. I think they got to knock off a couple wins in a row.
Right.
I think because they're still under 500 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're 4-5-1, so they're in 2nd place to Philly, but Philly's 8-2. But as far as the wild card's concerned, they still got a little bit of ways to go. But yeah, that was a really good game. What was it? The Bills Tampa Bay game, was it? What? That was a really good game too. For a 1:00 game. Josh Allen had a combined 6 touchdowns in that game. 3 rushing, 3 throwing.
Yeah, I guess they didn't losing to Miami, huh?
No, and I kind of figured that was going to be the case. Yeah. even though the Bucks are really good, they also have that same mentality, like where they go through a rough patch where they lose a couple in a row and then whatever.
They were winning a lot of games late too, early.
Yeah,
earlier in the season.
100% right. So that game was a really good game to watch. A lot of points scored, 76 points scored. It's just the Bucks didn't have enough to keep it going and matching the Bills. But yeah, awesome game there. This one was a surprise to me. I thought this game was going to be a lot closer. The Jags-Chargers game.
Jags ran away with it.
35-6.
Huh.
So like the problem with the Chargers is they don't have. I think is it Joe Alt or Alt? It's he's the offensive lineman. He got hurt a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And ever since then, like whenever he's out, I don't want to say they lose, but their record isn't great when he's not playing.
I see.
And their offense struggles mightily. And without I didn't even get to really watch this game, but without watching this game, you could tell
by the score,
right, that they had nothing going on.
And probably a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Oh yeah. And you know what? Jacksonville surprisingly is hanging in there with some of these tough teams. So even with Trevor Lawrence being not good a lot of the times, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they didn't have Brian Thomas. They didn't. Someone else went down. I can't remember who it was, but like
Hunter's out for the year. Right?
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, buddy. Hunter's out for the year. So like they're missing their pieces too, like every other team. And the Chargers, they just beat the balls off the Chargers, man. A last-second win for the Bears.
Another one. So what happened at the end there? I saw when Minnesota went up by by 3, and it was like under 2 minutes or something.
They went up by 1. It was like 17-16.
Oh, okay.
And then the Bears got the ball, and for the most part, they just marched down the field and kicked the field goal to win. It was that simple.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're in.
And well, you know what they were? It seemed like they had a comfortable lead early, and then Minnesota kind of came on at the end to make it a game.
Yep.
But another close win for the Bears, and that seems to be a theme for them, getting it done in the fourth quarter.
And listen, that could be a good thing for them riding into playoff time as well. Like it shows a lot of poise on their team that they could just come back. Now, granted, in the playoffs, you don't really want to be down like that. And some of their wins, they were down a lot in the fourth quarter, like especially that Giant game.
Right.
You don't want to be down by more than 10 points, I would think. But this one, they were just down by 1. They kept their composure, marched down the field, kicked that field goal. Everything was good. You know what I mean? So, and you were right too. I want to say last week you said like the Bears might win this game against Minnesota late, and I was like, I don't know how many more times they could do it, but they at least did it one more time.
Yeah, they're keeping the train rolling.
Yeah, man, for sure. Then you had the Packers-Giants game at MetLife. That was a fun game for a little while. Only because to me the Packers right now without Tucker Kraft, it almost looks like they don't have an offense. And then they also they might not have Josh Jacobs this week because he got hurt in like the second quarter of that game, and Emmanuel Wilson had to come in and had a decent day, but they pulled out the win 27-20. Another Giants loss late. So they're the Giants are the exact opposite of the Bears. They're losing the games late again, and the coaching change didn't help much of that. So I don't know what they're gonna do as far as moving forward with the Giants. It's going to be a tough road the rest of the year for them because no matter what they do, they have a lead in the fourth quarter and blow it.
Yeah. They seem to be letting it slip away late.
Yeah, and they're not for nothing. Their defense is a serious problem. And what's weird is they have a really good front four, or they should have a really good front four, but they're just not pressuring the quarterback that much. Because I was watching this game, and it's like they all look like old men, and they're not. Like Abdul Carter is a rookie, and for whatever reason, he can't get to the quarterback. You got Dexter Lawrence there, and I forget his first name. Was it Brian Burns?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, me neither. But Burns was like the sacks leader early on in the year, and Myles Garrett just, recently took that over. But he has double-digit sacks, so it's like he's the only one really getting to the quarterback. But so like the defense has to step up, and I don't know if it's coaching or whatnot, or the firing of Dable. Like, I don't know what's going on over there. They're starting to look more and more each week like a mess than something that is going to be a good team in the near future. I mean, I know they got that Dart and Scatterboo, but as of right now, they're both hurt. And I know when they played together, they like injected all this energy into the team. But you got to keep that energy. Just because they're hurt, you could still win it. Like, Jameis Winston isn't no slouch. Like, he throws the ball all over the place. So, you should at least be scoring and keep scoring. And granted, he's going to throw a pick six here and there, maybe multiple times a game because that's what he's used to doing. But he's not going to be like Russell Wilson and just take a sack or throw the ball away. He's going to press the issue and try and make something happen, which you should be taking advantage of right now. You know what I mean? Because he could be your backup quarterback next year. And hopefully, with this concussion that Dart has, maybe he learns how to slide a little bit more. I don't know. The 49ers took care of the Cardinals really easily. That was Brock Purdy's first game back.
Was that 4 o'clock game?
Yeah. Threw 3 touchdowns. It looked like he didn't even skip a beat from when he was out. He did great. He was another guy that I picked up on my fantasy team that helped me win. So kudos to Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. I appreciate you. Then the game that was the 4 o'clock game that I was really excited for was the Seahawks-Rams that we thought was going to be the game of the week.
Right.
It sort of was. Like, it wasn't high scoring, which was what these two teams were used to. But the Rams won a really tight game, 21-19. Back and forth. Good defensive game. Both quarterbacks had their issues in that game. But it fell a little bit short to me as far as the game of the week. Only because they didn't score a lot of points, I guess.
Right.
Other than that, it was a really good contest. Like, the defenses showed up, so kudos to them. But, I kind of wanted to see something in the realm of like 30-something, 20-something, or even 30-something, like within a few points of a field goal of each other, like 35, 32, something around there. So that's the only reason why, to me, it wasn't the game of the week. I don't know if I would call it an upset of the week because the Panthers have a better record than the Falcons, but the Falcons were killing the Panthers until the fourth quarter, and the Panthers came all the way back and won that game 30-27. Penix got hurt. He's done for the year. He's having surgery. So it looks like them not trading Kirk Cousins is a good thing, I think, for right now. Drake London also got hurt with a knee injury. May have been a shoulder, not 100% sure. But he's hurt, so he might not be playing this week. So a lot of fantasy owners are going to be hoping that Bijan Robinson takes over and does a lot of good stuff in the upcoming weeks.
The Lions share.
Yeah, so we'll see how that works moving forward. That early morning game, I think, was the Dolphins Commanders and
from Madrid.
Yes. 16-13 Dolphins. I bet on the Dolphins on that one, and the spread was like 2.5, so I covered. That's about one of the only other ones that I actually covered on, but they did their thing. To me, I didn't see the first half at all because I was like, I'm not waking up at 9:30 for a Dolphins Commanders game, but I saw the tail end. Just a regular football game to me, nothing crazy. I'm trying to look to see if there was anything else that stuck out to me. Joe Flacco actually had a bad game against the Steelers. That game to me should have been like it was a couple weeks ago when they played, and it was like the Bengals won in the last couple seconds or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
but this was pretty much all Steelers. Joe Flacco couldn't get things going with the offense. Matter of fact, Jamar Chase winds up getting suspended for a game for spitting on Ramsey.
Oh, I did see. I saw a clip about that. I didn't know what it was, but now you just reminded me.
Yeah, so he won't be playing this week. And you know what? Not for nothing. I don't know. The Bengals are in a worse spot this year than they are last year. So I don't think they're going to even close to make the playoffs. And we just saw on the TV not too long ago that Joe Burrow is practicing. I don't know why. Maybe they're not, like, technically eliminated yet.
Unless he's just really ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I really don't know. I'm trying to look to see. Yeah, they're 3-7, so I guess technically they're not eliminated yet, but they literally have to win, like, what do we got? 10 games. So this was what? They're 3-7. They got 7 games left. They'd have to win 6 out of the 7 games. So maybe that's why they're getting, like, Joe Burrow ready. Maybe if they figure Flacco could win this game this week, he comes back and you're good to go. But yeah, I felt bad for them. I really wanted the Bengals to win that game, to stick it to the Steelers a little bit. Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I think he, like, fractured his left wrist.
Huh.
He doesn't need surgery, which is a good thing, but we got to wait and see how that plays out this week for the game this Sunday.
Who's the backup in Pittsburgh?
No idea. No clue. Probably no one good, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, Texans beat the Titans. Not surprising there. Then you had the 2 night games, which we already talked a little bit about, the Cowboys-Raiders. The Sunday night game was the Lions and Eagles. So I had a lot at stake with that because I have the son got on my team, and he pooped the bed a little bit. He got plenty of targets, and it's not even really his fault. Goff did not have a great game out in that weather. I don't think it was that cold, but I watched a lot of that game, and it was just like, you know, on one end, the Eagles, their passing game is not good right now. So the Lions did themselves a favor and hung in there, and, you know, they didn't really score a lot. You know, it was 16-9. So I think,
yeah, not much scoring.
yeah, and like those 2 teams last year.
I feel like the Eagles' last game was like a low scoring game too.
Yeah, it was they played the Packers. It was 10-7 or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I saw the game. So, like, the last couple weeks for the Eagles, they don't know how to throw the ball. And then on top of it, Saquon Barkley isn't running the same, which we all understand because he had such a workload last year. So they got to figure things out. And I was kind of surprised. I thought the Lions would have went into Philadelphia and won this game because they do have that high-octane passing attack and running attack.
Right.
And the Eagles' defense shut them down. Like, Goff couldn't get comfortable in the pocket throwing the ball. He was throwing it wild all over the place and then just dumping it off, and they weren't getting first downs. They weren't in good positions to be like, you know, like 3rd and 5 or lower where you don't know what's coming and they could do their little trick plays or whatever. And, you know, the Eagles wind up winning. So you can't really complain. The Eagles are 8-2.
Yeah.
It's just like at some point they're going to lose a game if they don't have a full, like, complement of options on the offense. You know what I mean?
Right. You would think with a team like that, they would be scoring more points.
100%. And AJ Brown was complaining about it last week before they played, and they force-fed him the ball. He didn't do great. I mean, he did better than Devontae Smith, but he didn't get a touchdown. I think he had like 5 or 6 catches for like 60-something yards, nothing crazy. But I don't know if it's Hurts at this point. He's not reading the defenses correctly, or the wide receiver is not in the right spots. Like, I don't know what it is, but they need to figure it out in the next couple weeks before they start to fall down a hole. And then not that they're going to lose their division, but they might be first-round exits in the playoffs if they don't, you know, fix this. You know what I mean? And I watched this game too. This is the last game. I skipped over them a little bit only because this is a little bit of a shocker, even though they were in Denver. The Broncos beat the Chiefs with seconds left on the clock, literally. Time ran out and they kicked a field goal. And the story of this year right now is Patrick Mahomes can't get it done in the fourth quarter, which up until this year, that's all the Chiefs did. They were always the comeback kids. They were always either down or tied or whatever, and they would just steamroll whoever was in front of them, win that game, and move on to the next week. And this year, they're not. Every time they're either, tied or losing in the fourth quarter, they just lose. They got no comeback in them at all. To be fair, they did tie this game up at 19, but they gave, instead of getting the touchdown, they got the field goal. I think it was to tie, and then the Broncos had enough time, and Bo Nix is, I guess, decent enough of a quarterback to get them into a field goal range and kick a 40-something yard field goal for the win, and then that was it. Strange. The Chiefs right now aren't even in the playoff mix.
Really? They're
out of the playoffs. Then they don't even have the 7th seed, so they're not even a wild card team. Which same could be said for a couple other teams too. I think the Lions might even be one of them as well. I hate that they don't have the playoff stuff up yet on the NFL, but we could just go off their schedule. So right now, their record. So you got both Denver and New England. Oh, I didn't even talk about the Jets, but who cares? Whatever. We all knew.
Right, that was Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night game. We all knew the Jets were going to lose that game. So, the Patriots kept rolling. They're 9-2. They won 9 in a row now. So they're tied with Denver right now at 9-2. So they're the 1 and 2 seeds depending on what's going on. Then you got Indy 8-2, Pittsburgh at 6-4, Buffalo 7-3.
So the top 2 teams are the Broncos and
Patriots.
The Patriots.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then
in the AFC.
Right, correct. And I'll give you the NFC in a second. But after Buffalo, you got the Chargers at 7-4, and you got Jacksonville at 6-4.
And the Patriots were pretty bad last year, right?
They were terrible.
Okay, just making sure.
And they were terrible weeks 1 and 2 of this year. But it looks like they got it together. Drake May's been on fire, and if they keep this up, he might be in the hunt for a little MVP for himself.
And the running back had a good game.
Really good game.
He's come on late.
Yeah, I think he had 2 touchdowns on Thursday. Trevion, was it Henderson?
Yeah.
Yep. So they're doing really good. So as of right now, Jacksonville's like the last team in the playoffs. And then you got Houston, Kansas City. They're both 5-5, and Baltimore's also 5-5. As a matter of fact, Miami is 4-7. So they're slowly starting to creep back with some of their wins. But yeah, you got 3 teams that are 5-5 right now, and we're in week 12. So it's kind of crazy. And that's on the AFC side. NFC side, you got Philly and Rams, both 8-2. Chicago 7-3. Tampa 6-4. Seattle 7-3. And then Green Bay 6-3-1. And Detroit is actually outside right now at 6-4. And you got Carolina 6-5, Dallas 4-5-1, and then Minnesota 4-6. So it doesn't look good for some of those teams either. So a couple shockers right now. You got Kansas City, Baltimore not in the playoffs, and you got Detroit Lions not in the playoffs after all these teams had high octane offenses, decent defenses.
Surprising.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for sports right now. I mean, last little note on the NFL, Shedeur Sanders is starting his first game.
I saw.
On Sunday. That's pretty cool for him. I wonder if Deion's going to be there.
I would imagine.
Yeah, but they play their games mostly on Saturdays, correct? There's no college games Sundays. So yeah, maybe he'll be in attendance. That'll be something cool to see for his son. His dad being there, that'll be nice. Yeah, other than that, that's all I got. Now on to the entertainment aspect of things. You started off. I need a minute.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
You must be a little tired.
Oof.
You touching on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I didn't watch a lot this week. I watched a lot last week. I'm current with, what I think is the best show on TV right now. Welcome to Derry. As you said last week, there's a lot more going on. Now there's even more going on. The puzzle gets deeper, I guess you would say. But yeah, enjoying that. It's just, well done. How many episodes is there? Do you know?
I think it's 8.
Okay, so we're halfway there.
Yeah, and so I have some news.
Yeah, go for it.
For this show.
Yeah.
And this is kind of why I like Instagram. I don't know if it's ever true or not, but like you got people put on these videos and they give you information, right?
Mm-hmm. So
I already knew, and I don't know if we spoke about it when it was first coming out, that they already had 3 seasons already, I guess, signed for, delivered, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I guess I didn't say it, but before I watched this video, I already knew that, because what I do is when I see a show I like, I automatically go to IMDb and see if they have a second show already on deck.
Right, that's your first move.
Right, like just to make sure, like, okay,
what am I investing in?
They're already committing at least to a second year, so I know the first season is going to be good at least. They already put enough behind it, so I always do it. And when I went to IMDb, I saw 3 seasons, and I was like, "That's wild." Yeah. And I know
you don't usually see that.
No, especially not anymore.
And
like
before one episode aired, I guess, right?
It was like either the first episode came out, because remember I watched it a little late. Right. So when I was looking at it, I think the first episode was almost already a weekend.
Yeah, a 3-season deal from Jump Street is pretty rare, I guess.
Right, and already it's HBO Max's best show, like ever, like viewer-wise, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So you got that running for you too. Yeah. And we saw you saw this past week's episode too, right? So it got even a little more crazy. Yeah. Spoiler alert, we're gonna see actual Pennywise next episode. So this Sunday, 9:00, you're gonna see Pennywise in that episode, from what I'm hearing. So that's number 2. And the last little tidbit. So in was it this past episode when they went back to 1908? When they showed
was the 3rd, I think.
It was the 3rd. Okay.
What are you talking about, when they went to the carnival type thing?
Yeah, and like the girl Rose and the guy that's the military guy were young kids. Yeah. Okay, so this season's from 1962. I think second season is going to be 1945-ish, and then the 3rd season is 1908.
Oh, so
they're going backwards,
further.
Right? So yes,
earlier, I guess.
Correct. So. I don't know where they're going to go with it, obviously, but we saw flashbacks of 1908 already. So the 3rd season is going to be them as kids. Now they're adults, but they're going to be kids. So I know we have to wait 2 years for it, which sucks, if not longer, because who knows. But, it's cool to me that they're going backwards.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And they're going to give you, I would hope, 1908 they're going to give you the origin of Pennywise. I mean, they kind of did in the last episode. I don't want to ruin it for everyone if you haven't seen it yet. Yeah. They gave you the quick version, but I would love to see that expanded. I don't know about you.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, episode 4, great. I went and watched a bunch of movies this weekend, I guess the last week.
Oh, one more thing.
Sure.
While we're on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pun intended.
I'm trying to not rat it out.
I didn't realize the military guy, Dick, who, he has the ability. He's the guy from The Shining.
Yes, yes. I saw that too. I thought you knew that. That's why I didn't say anything. Yeah. But he's connected, and a lot of.
I thought that's cool how they.
It's really cool. Like, he's just learning his powers, and you saw him as an old man where he had what they called was the shine, and he's dealing with this now. I think that's really cool, and it's not just him either. There's going to be others that crisscross through the Stephen King world, and I don't know if it was. Yeah, it was this last episode. They mentioned Shawshank again. And
yes. They did, yes.
And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this is crazy that they're combining this, like, his whole world and universe together. And I can only imagine what they got. I hope this guy winds up going to Shawshank for a couple of days, because that's what they wind up saying in that interview in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to see Shawshank again, even though it's like just whatever, another prison to us. But it's just cool that it's Shawshank. So great pickup on that, by the way, because I thought I mentioned that last week. But I went to the movies last Friday night.
Really?
And saw Predator Badlands.
Okay.
Because I heard it was really good. It was really good.
Nice.
It was, to me, it was action right from the beginning.
Okay.
I don't know what they call the Predators. I know what they call them. I just can't pronounce it. It's like Yargita or something like that, whatever it is. But really cool movie. A lot of cool monsters / animals, because they're on a different planet.
Right.
Great concept. Wayland Industries is in it again, so they kept them going. That's the whole alien aspect of it, because if no one remembers the Alien franchise, Wayland is part of that, with the cyborgs and trying to catch the aliens and bring them back to Earth. So they still have some of that aspect to it. I have to watch it again. I'm sure there were Easter eggs in that spaceship that's in the movie.
Okay.
There was a dinosaur, a T-Rex was one of them. I think, don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I think the alien from Independence Day was on that wall.
Really?
From what it looked like.
Huh.
Yeah, so I want to watch it again. Unfortunately, there's not a good copy yet on the Fire Stick. So once that comes up, I'll look at it and pause it and see what I can and can't see. But overall, great movie, spot on. Quick, good little story. It's not going to win you an Academy Award, obviously, but like the story made sense. It was great. It actually almost kind of felt like, did you see the cartoon or the animated Predator Killer of Killers? That was
no, but that was the one on Hulu.
I think so. I think it's on Hulu, Disney, or stuff like that.
To watch that, yeah.
I think that takes place before this.
Okay.
Because a lot of what I remember in that animation cartoon was in this movie, so to speak. Like, whatever. But that was great. Have you ever seen that new-ish Leonardo DiCaprio movie with it's One Battle After Another?
I've been, you know what? It's actually funny that you say that.
I'm glad.
I wanted to see it when it was in the theater, but I forgot, and I think it was only out for like not that long. So my friend actually texted me about it today, because we're both big fans of that director.
Okay.
And he loved it. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. When it's when I'm able to, but. Watch it?
Yeah, is it out on like a Prime or something like that where you can watch it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, probably if you pay.
Okay.
But I'm cheap. So.
Right. No, I get you. I totally get you. At first, in the first 10 to 15 minutes, I was gonna like, what kind of movie this is?
Yeah.
But then it got really good.
Okay.
So I did like it. It's I think it takes place like back in the day, but it has a lot to do with like the not Black Lives Matter movements or something like that, but I think like maybe in like the 70s or whatever.
Okay, civil rights.
Yeah, the civil rights movement and stuff like that and all that stuff. So he was like one of those people, protesting all that in the very beginning. And then it like skips forward to when he's much older and has like a family and whatever. I don't want to ruin it for you, but once it went forward, it was a really good movie, because he's like, it's literally the title of the movie is literally what he's going through in the movie. So I thought that was cool, and I really wanted to see it too, because not so much for the director. I like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Of course,
he's a great actor. So I was like, 9 times out of 10 he signs up for something. It's going to be an entertaining movie. You're not going to have too many bad things to say. So yeah, happy about that movie. It was really good. Then we'll get into
you saw that on the Fire Stick.
Yes, but before you leave, I want to say I saw it on a streaming site because I was pissed that I saw it on the Fire Stick.
Right. I'll look it up. Yeah.
And it was a good copy, but then I'm looking through another. I don't know if it might be on Prime because the next movie I'm going to talk about was on Prime, so I thought maybe I saw it there, or maybe it's like to rent or something. But we'll check it out after this. But Kevin James is just like Adam Sandler, dropping these B or B plus movies out right to Prime. He's with Thad from the Blue Mountain State, Alan Richardson.
Okay.
Funny-ish movie, action movie. It's entertaining. It's not long, hour and a half. If you're looking for, like, once again, an Oscar winner or something like that, this is not the movie for you. But it's one of those movies you can sit back, watch, and just veg out and enjoy the movie. It's got a nice little story to it. It's something like a father-son kind of thing in the mix of throughout the movie, which was nice. But yeah, so that was cool too. I saw Wanted Man.
What's that?
It was a movie with our boy Dolph Lundgren on Prime.
Wow, I didn't know he's still making pictures.
I didn't know it either, but I saw it and I watched the trailer. I'm like, let me just check it out. I got nothing to watch, right? So I watched it. He plays a cop. It's another action movie, hour and a half, maybe hour and 40 minutes. Nothing crazy. I will say that Playdate was better than Wanted Man. Okay. But I like Dolph Lundgren and wanted to see what kind of movies he's getting into now. So he's still doing the action movies. He plays like a regular cop, and he gets sent to Mexico because he gets into some kind of trouble. Then he's getting chased around. Then story all his time, more crooked cops come and try and kill him. You could guess where that movie ends. But if you like him as an actor, or just like him in general, watch the movie. It was cool enough. And like I said, it's not going to waste too much of your time. It's a quick little movie.
Right.
Then Good Fortune. Did you know Keanu Reeves made this movie? Good Fortune?
No, what's this?
He's like an angel, and
Interesting.
there's in this movie, and this was out in the movie theaters. I don't think this did well.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think this did well.
I didn't see that commercial, I don't think.
I remember seeing the commercial. That's why I'm saying this to everyone right now, whoever watches this part. It was in the movies, also not long. So, yeah. I don't know if this was like a pet project of his or whatever. There's actually a bunch of famous people in this movie, but he plays an angel, and in this movie, it's not just like one angel looks out over you. Like, there's an angel for, accidents, and there's an angel for driving. There's an accident for this. So he's the angel of texting and driving. So his main job...
He must be busy.
Yeah, his main job is just to make sure when someone texts, they don't die, And it goes on from there. He winds up losing his wings, winds up being human. He winds up being a drunk and smoking and all this stuff. He goes through all this stuff. It was actually an entertaining movie. I kind of liked it. And Keanu Reeves is another guy that I like to see his movies because he's all over the place. He could be an action star. He could be in dramas. He could be in thrillers, comedies, whatever. So, yeah. So this is another. This movie's not long either. So it's a good overall good movie. I not the best Keanu Reeves movie.
Right. You found it entertaining.
I definitely found it entertaining. It was cool. The last and not least movie, I know we talked about this 2 weeks ago, off the air, Mission Impossible, that's The Dead Reckoning, Part 2.
Okay, how was it?
Finally watched that. Long as hell, dude.
Yeah, I feel like most of those movies are long, right?
Jeez, it was like 2 hours and 40-something minutes.
Oh, man, that's longer than Frankenstein.
Yeah, by like 15, 20 minutes. And I literally watched it in one sitting, too. Like, I had nothing going on. I watched it for 2 hours, and I want to say like 42 minutes. It wasn't bad. It closed out the show. A lot of action. It was just like the last one. So, like, it wasn't written that well.
Yeah.
he still had the same group of characters. He's still fighting the same bad guy from the first Dead Reckoning. So it just closed it out. I'm glad I finished it. I'm over and done with it now. And then last but not least, I finished The Witcher.
Okay.
That was awesome.
That was the second season?
Third or fourth?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I think it's the fourth, actually.
Right. So you like that?
Yeah, I like that. And you know how sometimes where they switch actors, so like Henry Cavill is not the Witcher anymore, it's Liam Helmsworth.
Okay.
I didn't see much of a difference. I guess because of the type of character he portrays.
Right.
You know, if you get over him not being, you know, Henry Cavill, then you'll be fine with the show.
Right.
They leave you on a serious cliffhanger, which sucked. So there's going to be another season, hopefully. And they actually had their first kind of like spin-off movie-ish. There's a group of like thieves that call themselves the Rats. So I saw that too after The Witcher, and it's like in between this season, because where the season ends for Witcher, the movie starts, and it's a character that was in this last season of The Witcher telling this particular story. And then by the end of it, you're caught back up, and then, you know, he says it's goodbye, and then like you're pretty much up to date with The Witcher. So it's on Netflix. The Rats, it was cool. Hour and 20-something minutes, nothing crazy, but you get a little bit more character depth on these group of
little background.
Yeah, of these people. So it was really cool. Cool little short movie or whatever. And yeah, that's it. I did actually what you did last week. I did a lot of watching TV, so
Nice.
I got nothing else to do.
Speaking of thieves, I'm also current with Robin Hood. It's good. I think there's like 4 episodes. Yeah, so enjoying that. I think you'll like it, that one as well.
Yeah, keep me in the loop on that. Let me know when it's just about like week 8 or
done.
yeah.
I don't think I watched really anything else. I think. Oh well, I'm sorry. I finished season 1 of Dark Winds.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Nice.
Pretty good. There's another season. I'll probably watch that at some point. And then I also went back to a show that I watched the first episode a long time ago, and then I forgot about it. It's called Dope Thief on Apple.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started watching that again. I think I'm on like the 2nd or 3rd episode, but yeah, it's not bad. So, yeah, I guess hopefully I'll watch a few more things for next week.
There we go. We got to figure out to see if we could get you that movie.
Oh yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because it was good. You'll like it for sure.
Oh no, yeah. I like the like I said. I like all that guy's movies. Paul Thomas Anderson.
Nice. All right, yeah. Shooter, let's wrap this up in a bow.
Just one music selection as usual this week. We're going with Navy Blue with The Sword and the Soaring. That's the pick for this week.
All right, folks. We're almost a week away from Thanksgiving, so if we enjoy the rest of this week, obviously, and just in case we don't see you next week, have a good Thanksgiving.
Till next time.
See you later, folks.